Welcome back on Dynamo. Today I want to propose you the analysis about the Grand Alliances staff and Alliances Soulblight that are inside the new battletome Legions of Nagash. In this case I decided to treat these two alliances together because they are almost similar, they are almost equal to the ones released with the General Handbook 2017. But there are some important differences that you have to take note about. So, I invite you to watch the videos that has the explanation of those alliances for the General Handbook 2017 that you can find in the schedules up here or under in the description. You can find the links to the previous ones, to the previous alliances. Anyway, I want to remember you that you are not forced to use these alliances from the battletome Legions of Nagash, other than the ones from the General Handbook 2017, because they are both still legal, so you are not has such a problem. But anyway, I suggest to use the ones about the battletome if you are interested to play the units from this battletome, because there are some differences that can let you play better once or not these alliances, so that you can play better these alliances or the other ones in different ways. So if you are interested to play the units in the battletome, I suggest you to use these alliances from this battletome. About the command traits, one thing that you can note is that there is the must that the general for both the Grand Alliances staff and the Alliances of Soulblight has to be a hero other than to be the leader. So if normally it will be only required to be a leader, to play with these battletome alliances, you have also have the general being a hero. So you have to take note about this detail. Going down to talk in detail about the Soulblight alliances, we can find that one of the changes that you can find is magic, because the magic let you add to all the wizards with these alliances, take an additional spell that comes from the lore of vampires that you'll find in a specific video that I treat separately to not make the video too long. And talking about the artifacts of these alliances, we can find the only difference it's on the fifth on the list, that it's the Sacred Goblet, that it's missing in the new version, that the wounds that the breeder of this artifact if it doesn't able to make damages to the enemy if it activates this artifact itself, it's not anymore applicable at the end of the combat phase. So missing this description, it means that it should be applied after you solved the attacks of the model itself. So in this case it means that if it dies cause the mortal wounds, you should apply the mortal wounds immediately after it failed the woundings. It means also that it can alterate all the combat phase, because it will die, so it will miss the option to suffer maybe attacks from the enemy models or make the models pile in on other units. So it becomes really quite important, this difference. And if there will be no facts that will solve this difference, it will mean a difference in the usage of such artifact. Talking instead about the Grand Alliances staff, we can find that more than the difference about the general requisite that we talked yet about, the most important difference is about the artifact Sword of Unholy Power, that it's changed in Blade of Dark Summon, and changed quite a lot its functioning, cause first you would be able to summon every unit with the spell to summon it. Now it works on only 12 inch of range as summoning a unit, and it works only on the units with the keyword summonable. So it becomes really quite interesting because also change the units that can be summoned to, and it makes the distance from the enemy models only being 3 inches, so it becomes really quite interesting. Moreover, because it means that the unit that are summoned that has a hornblower, a music, can really be interesting because they can charge. But what you have to remind is that the spell that you are using, it's use this artifact in your hero phase. So it means that anyway the unit that you call back can move and then charge without any problem. So it's really an interesting one. Moreover, if you think in the way to go to take objectives and so on, so it's really an interesting one. The real problem about this artifact is the uncertainty of the dimensions of the unit that you summon, because it's a variable number that it's equal to 2d6 models. So it means that you are not able to control the amount of points of the reserve points that you are using to make such summoning, and moreover that you can even summon a number of models really few ones compared to the point that you pay for the equivalent unit. So you have to take note of such problems if you use such an artifact. And the other artifact that has been modified is Ring of Immortality, that has been increased as range to working to redeploy the mod itself from 12 inch to 18 inch to make render in the game the healed model. And another important difference is that it doesn't talk anymore about losing the last wound, but about only to be slain. And it's quite important if you think that there are artifacts, for example, as the Black Gem of the Allegance Legion Sacrament, that slays models and doesn't make wounds. So it becomes really interesting in that way. It's moreover disappeared the part about leaving that model in the original position if it's not anymore possible to move it in a new position. But it's also true that it has been increased this range for the moving, so it's quite probable that it's not anymore necessary to specify. This artifact it has become quite interesting and partly has recovered the old glory, but anyway remember that it's anyway applicable only if you are able to realize a free plus for the model itself to activate the artifact. At the end of the considerations, we can say that the modifiers compared to the previous ones are not so many, but it's really important to take note of such difference because it means understand the difference of what you will be able to do compared to the other ones from the General Handbook 2017. So it's quite a great difference to take note. From Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.